What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're checking out this 2026 Mazda CX-30. This one is a 2.5S Arie Edition, finished off in the Snowflake White. MSRP is around $33,000. So what do you guys think? This is kind of a glorified hot hatch actually. It's actually really small. It is a compact crossover. So let's see what is powering this one. There are two different versions. You can get a non-turbo or you can actually get this in a turbocharged engine. So this one is the non-turbo, so we don't have all too much power, but you're going to get that naturally aspirated 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder, making 186 horsepower and torque. If you option it for the turbo engine, you're going to get 250 horsepower with 320 pound-feet of torque. This has a 6-speed automatic. It's also all-wheel drive. Current weight is 3,400 pounds, and we have a 12.7 gallon fuel tank. You can also expect 24 miles per gallon in the city with 31 out on the highway. So for the styling, this definitely has the Mazda character to it with this nice looking sporty front end. You got these angry angled eyes with a dark housing, and then this nice gloss black connects them to the center grille. Got your Mazda logo, which is a safety sensor, nice mesh, parking sensors as well, and then just a little bit of plastic black for the lower bumper. We have LED fog lights down here, active grille shutters. So it's a good looking little car. It has just that nice familiar style that we're used to seeing from anything from Mazda. Hood has some sleek lines right here that cut all the way into it, and they're just nice and smooth all around. Overall vehicle just has a very clean design, not really any razor sharp edges, just a sleek flowing body style. That plastic black material makes its way into the fender arches, and then we have a nice set of gunmetal gray wheels and a split 5-spoke. 1/8-inch diameter. You're also going to get the black color on the mirrors with your turn signal, body color door handles, and then all black trim for the windows. We have these nice gloss black roof rails, a sunroof up here as well, and then for the side profile, once again, it is a compact crossover, so it's not really an SUV, it's a lot smaller. It's more of a larger, compact hot hatch. You're going to see more of that black trim down below, and then we have a gloss black spoiler integrated, sloping rear end, and then a dark housing for those taillights. You also have this nice black chrome trim for all of the badging, more of the plastic black down below for the bumper. We have our dual exhaust tips, and then you can see parking sensors throughout it. So nice looking little car, not too bad. From here we can grab the manual tailgate, lift this up. You're gonna get about 20 cubic feet of cargo volume in the trunk section. We also have a spare tire underneath the floor. We can easily fold down the seats, that way you can maximize your space and of course remove the cargo cover. So if I pop this down a little bit, you're also gonna have access to press these buttons to fold down the seats. Now being a compact car, you're gonna have to move the seats up front out of the way to gain access. From here we can easily close it down, and then for the interior I have that one nice and flat folded, so it gives you good space into the back, but again I had to move my driver's seat up a lot. So this can seat 3 people, and with it we have the nice white leatherette interior with the fabric. We're gonna have armrests and cup holders. You also have your air vents and storage. So cool looking interior with a sporty style. Harder plastics up here with a soft touch throughout the center. Now as far as legrooms go, this is going to be a little misleading. I had to slide the seat up a ton to fold these down. So this side is a little bit more representing of the legroom at 5'11". You're going to be pretty smushed in here. Now you do have some good headroom. It is compact, honestly. It's not really that big in here. Fitting a car seat is not going to be fun given how small it is. So again, it's more of a 2-person car, a small city SUV or something like that. Not exactly a family car, but it's big enough in a pinch if needed. Now making our way to the front seat, once again, you're gonna get all the same style up here. There's more soft touch materials, more of this faux stitching design, lots of storage. And then for the driver's seat, we have power controls. We also have that leatherette and then the nice gray fabric all throughout the insert. So definitely a sporty interior for a simple, affordable car. We're also going to get a black leather wrapped steering wheel with your chrome Mazda badge. Now sitting in here, foot on the brake, it's fired up. Now if your seatbelt's not on, you're going to get the most annoying chimes. And it keeps going and going. My one complaint, if you start this up without a seatbelt, that is a super loud chime. So from here, steering wheel has your volume on the left, track as well, info icon for the screen, cruise control on the right. We have the windshield wiper stock on the right side, headlights and turn signals on the left. Now the gauge cluster is pretty cool because actually it is a screen, but it looks like a analog design. So it's pretty simple with the normal ones. We also have a screen in the center that is configurable. And then taking a look on the left side, we have the audio icon for that, parking sensors, off-road setting, and then we have our memory seating. Got a little bit of storage, some of this fabric trim with an air vent, some softer touch material all across the dashboard, and then more of this cool fabric. So nice to see just a sporty style for this affordable car. Got your air vents over here for passenger, opening that. One thing unique, while you have air vents here, there's air vents right down here. These little lines are air vents for your leg. They are not speakers. So for people who are gonna say, oh, those are just speakers, you crank up the fan speed, and I'm getting air flowing through these. So that is great, especially on a hot day. You can have some cool air cooling down your legs. So for the multimedia screen, Mazda's is very simple. I'm not the biggest fan of it just because, I mean, it's not touchscreen, it's kind of just simple. However, at the end of the day, it's got basically all you're gonna need. And honestly, I don't really ever use the screens. It's good enough for the camera, a little far away, but you can still easily see that. And then for the audio, we go to entertainment and scroll down. You still get our Apple CarPlay, which of course is all touchscreen. So with this one, it's easy to use, and I literally only ever use my CarPlay anyway. So you got touchscreen CarPlay, which is about all you're gonna need. Climate controls are also physical, so very simple to use with fan speed, your dual zone temperature. We have heated seats up here as well. A little bit of storage down below with wireless charging. Sport mode icon right there, just pops up on the center. Then we have that rotary dial with volume, basic controls, park and brake, and then more of the soft touch all throughout this whole center and armrest. Now for this, we slide it back first, gives you a little bit of access, and then we can open that up and gives you all the space. A couple plugs in there as well. And then one last look at the interior. You know, for an affordable $33,000 car, you know, it's nice and sporty in here for, you know, what's supposed to be. Cool looking enough. We got a light gray headliner, manual sunshade, sunglass holder, and then a nice thin mirror. All right, so setting off now in the 2026 Mazda CX-30. So with all-wheel drive and a normal transmission, while this isn't exactly an off-roader, this is something you could take off the beaten path every now and then. Of course, you do have that off-road setting as well. So it's nice to see that this is something that you could basically live with it in the city. Maybe that's where you live. This would be a good car for that. But if you want to go on some weekend adventures, you're pretty unlimited on what you can do with this, I would say. So normal driving around town, it's actually pretty comfortable. I like how soft these seats are. I've had complaints with other Mazdas. I think the CX-30, I believe it was, had a little stiff seats. This seems nice and comfortable. I feel like I sink into them pretty well. Good padding, good visibility all around. Ride quality is pretty good. Going over those bumps, a lot of cars, it feels really bad. This feels pretty solid taking bumps. So I feel like Mazda builds a pretty solid, reliable car that is put together well. It's not just a cheap car. So I like that aspect with it. Like I said, it's easy to see around the windshield and the glass. The mirrors all do a good job. When you look over your right and left shoulder, I mean, it's a small car. The windows are a little small in back, but you can still see around pretty well. With the driver's seat, it's pretty easy to get into a comfortable position, and then you have nice armrests on the left and right side to where it's a great car for just one person to just kind of relax and drive. It's an easy point A to point B car where you don't really have to think all too much. Now the technology in this, again, I have not been the biggest fan of Mazda's screen. However, actually pairing my phone to it using CarPlay, which is wireless, you know, that's pretty much all I use. And it is touchscreen. It is a bit of a reach to actually use the CarPlay. However, you know, I set it on one song and my playlist just goes and goes and goes. So I don't really see that as much of an issue. It's kind of out of the way, tablet style, but I think it looks good overall. And with that said, you know, you can easily go into the Mazda screen there and do the basic things, which again, there's not really much in the screen. And then we can just turn it on to a clock. So ride quality, it's pretty quiet. You don't really hear any wind noise or road noise. I mean, I barely have to even raise my voice to just hear myself. It's really quiet. It's pretty smooth taking turns. There's not crazy body roll or brake dive. I mean, it drives really well. It honestly rides super smooth. It's just a great point A to point B car. Maybe you want a small car, a hot hatch or something as your point A to point B car. This could do that with a little bit better space. You're a little bit more up high than a car, which is a really nice touch for this to just be a easy to use car. It's easier to get in and out of than a car would be. So it really has a lot to offer. Physical climate controls, simple. This car is just so simple and easy to use, which I think is going to be very appealing for a lot of people, especially when most cars are super techy with a million screens and a million fancy ways to make controls. This is just basic. Now, the only drawback with this specific trim is, I would say, the engine. This thing is not fast at all. Even if we put it into sport mode, this is really, really slow. So let's slow down and punch it pedal to the floor up to 45 miles per hour. This thing is pretty slow. That is pedal to the floor. And speed limit. I mean, it gets there, but there's no acceleration. If you're going up any hill, yeah, forget about it. However, I'm not gonna knock that because you can get a turbo which has a ton of power, and I can't imagine, honestly, that's probably a really fun engine for this small car. So you can get more power for a couple grand. It's not really much more expensive to get that engine. So I think Mazda's at least done a good job offering that. This one is just the city car, point A to point B. You're not doing high-speed stuff. You don't have steep hills to climb. This is just a good generic A to B car, but also it feels nice on the interior with soft touches. It's got a cool style to it. I mean, this is one of the nicer economy cars by far. And when you drive it, aside from this specific one's acceleration, you know, it's just a smooth, comfortable, easy to drive car.